What's up, and welcome to another episode of Football Everyday, coming to you live and direct from the studios here at Menara Star in PJ. My name is Nelsen. Joining me today, Zheng, Guan and Zack, Yusof. Of course, guys, good to see you as usual. Well, great weekend of football it was, with Luis Suarez and Patrice Evra taking centre stage once again. Of course,
Nelsen.
Yeah. Oh. Come on, man. What was that, dude? Yeah, I mean, many people have condemned Suarez for refusing to shake Evra's hand, at the start of the game. So, would you say the guy was wrong, Kung?
Yeah, I mean, even he doesn't like Evra, all he need to do is just touch his hand and be done with, and then he can come out and say that he doesn't like Evra after that. But just get it done with. Yeah.
Right. I mean, Zack, well, if Suarez was certainly wrong in not shaking Evra's hand, I mean, some people are saying that Evra's reaction at the end of the match, in over celebrating in front of Suarez, was equally wrong as well. So, what would your thoughts be on that?
Well, I'm not. It's not the best behavior in the world, but you gotta. I can see where Evra's come from. If you have ever played football before, Nelsen, and you feel hard done by, that justice has not been served, and you manage to win the match, haven't you ever taunted your opposition? Every sportsman in the world has done the same thing. It's Evra's house, right? It was at Old Trafford. He's celebrating in front of his own fans. It's not as if he ran to the away fans and started inciting anything.
It's not as if he did,
so
as if he did in Adebayo, right?
There is nothing in there. This was a man who desperately wanted to win, and he was happy about it.
Right, but I mean, taking the Suarez issue a little bit further, I mean, you mentioned Kenny Dalglish's post-match interview, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was an amazing post-match interview. It had shades of... I don't know whether you remember Kevin Keegan cracking in front of the Sky cameras all those years ago. I've lost a lot of respect for him, that interview with Ferguson. Well, Kenny's had shades of that, because Kenny Dalglish, I know you can see it on YouTube, but basically Kenny is adamant that Luis Suarez was not in the wrong, that he had not incited anything. But I tell you what, can you agree with me? All he had to do was shake Evra's hand, and we wouldn't be talking about this handshake nonsense. We'd be talking about how terrible Liverpool were for the whole 90 minutes.
Which is what I was coming to. I mean, Zack, in terms of the match proper, United certainly looked the better side for most part of the game.
Mate, 2-1 flattered.
Did they deserve the result?
Totally. I think they were fired up. Obviously, I think the riot at halftime probably had a lot to do with the way they came out second half, all guns blazing. But how bad were Liverpool?
I mean, Kung, would you agree with Zack on the assessment of
Liverpool
the game?
Have been playing pretty bad the whole season, so it's not surprising to see them playing just as bad against Man United, but at Old Trafford some more.
That game was surprising in that they really offered nothing in terms of like midfield. I saw Steven Gerrard misplacing passes. I didn't think I heard his name mentioned more than 3 or 4 times. Henderson and Downing, obviously there's a profound problem with those two whenever they start a Liverpool game, right?
So
where do you start? You got Luis Suarez up front, isolated.
Right. Okay. Well, at Goodison Park, meanwhile, Everton, outdid themselves once again. As they quite surprisingly dished out a 2-0 win over Chelsea. I mean, to pile the pressure on AVB. Zack, I mean, most Everton fans would have been happy with the draw. I mean, as we said last week. But I mean, what about the Steven Pienaar inspired win, man?
Superb. I mean, and I wasn't that surprised, because from start to finish, Chelsea were woeful. Chelsea were Liverpool, but in blue, I mean. and that game, I mean, I said last week that Everton are a bit of a bogey team for Chelsea. And again, it proved to be so, because it's very rare for me to say this watching Everton, but it was comfortable,
You must be happy, man, right?
Very happy.
I mean, you must be disappointed with the Blues' recent
Chelsea fan.
performances of late, right?
Sorry, mate. But that was a terrible performance.
I mean, look, together with Fernando Torres, might AVB's time be running out as well? I mean, there's rumours of dissent in the ranks and, dissension in the ranks kind of thing now.
I can say it's probably overplayed in the English media. Torres, maybe. Time's running out. He can't score. He can come up with an assist or two once in a while. But he just can't score. That's a problem. But AVB, maybe not. Maybe he'll get until end of the season.
Maybe after the Champions League.
Yeah, Champions League.
I read an article that he's been given more leeway than any other Chelsea coach in recent memory. Mainly because I think Abramovich knows the size of the task.
Right.
In that Chelsea are in transition, right?
And also because Abramovich paid good money to bring him in, he doesn't want to see go to waste.
I think the money aside, Abramovich can afford to sack him if he wanted to sack him.
He can sack him.
But I think he knows that this job is bigger than a lot of people understand. You've got to shift out the old guard, right?
AVB has been trying to build a new team. It's working in a way, but it's not really clicking on pitch yet. So
the Torres situation is a different one. That guy has no confidence.
Okay, well, over at the Stadium of Light, a late Thierry Henry strike earned Arsenal a hard-fought 2-1 win over Sunderland. I mean, many people kind of questioned Wenger's decision, to bring back Henry, but he showed he still got that touch, right, Zack?
Fantastic. He loves Arsenal. Arsenal loves Thierry. And what an opportune way to sign out, right?
Yep.
I mean,
good assist by Arshavin as well, right?
Yeah.
Who we've not seen much from
and
this season.
Ramsey, but what happened to Mertesacker? I never seen a defender collapse like that. I hope he's okay.
Right. Well, another eye-catching result over the weekend saw Spurs bring Newcastle way back down to earth with an impressive 5-0 win at White Hart Lane. I mean, the game was practically over in the first half. I mean, as Spurs, if they continue playing like that, I mean, surely Harry is going to find it hard to leave White Hart Lane for the England job, right? 4-0
in the first half is a very good result for Spurs. But I think Harry definitely wants the England job. So I hope he does take it.
Right.
If he better for the other teams who are trying to change the third spot or fourth spot or whichever that matters. But I think Harry right now might take the England job. I mean, he's been interested in it. He's been giving interviews like he's already the England manager. So
Right. But I want to get your thoughts on Harry. But hold on to your thoughts for a while, as it is time for our break here on Football Every Day. We'll be right back with more chat and banter, and we'll see you real soon. Welcome back to Football Every Day here in the second and final segment of today's episode. Before the break, we were talking first about Spurs and Harry Redknapp. I mean, Zack, do you think Harry's the right man for England?
Well, he's obviously, in terms of the English candidates, I would say he's top of the list, I suppose. But then again, it's not saying much because there isn't really a massive list of English candidates, right? You look at it, who else? Alan Pardew, Big Sam, God no, right?
Right.
So yeah, in that context, yes, Harry's the man, and like you said, Ken, he already it seems to be
talking like the England manager,
touting himself for the job and all that. And
I mean, England aside, Keng, I mean, Spurs are top among the London-based clubs at the moment. So have they impressed you so far?
Well, they have. They are fast. They're a fast team. I mean, they have good players.
Right.
They've been blessed with good players, and with Bale, with Van der Waart, with Lennon, the team looks pretty much very strong.
Right.
And now with Saha, as you just said just now, in the team.
Right.
And now they got Steele as well. Last time you used to think Spurs used to be quite lightweight, fancy dance. But do they have the power and the grit? Now they got the likes of Scott Parker. Their defense have shored up, right? They look good.
And they have depth, so once someone gets injured, another one comes in. So
Harry likes to spend money,
And they seem to be hungry, right? I think that's the most important thing. Well, okay, and as United's win over Liverpool took them top, Man City had to win at Villa Park to reclaim leadership. And win they did, although narrowly, thanks to a single Julian Lescott goal. I mean, Zack, what do you make of that performance and the result?
Hate Julian Lescott.
Nothing great. But
No, I don't hate Julian Lescott. I mean, it was one of those results where City had to get it. They grind out that result.
Right.
But that's what champions do, right? Or would-be champions. So
right. That's what was needed, right?
And today I saw in the news Tevez, a certain Carlos Tevez has returned, despite having been treated like a dog by his manager. So it's all very interesting, mate. It can either blow up at that club, or they could win the league, right?
Right. Well, speaking of the league takes a break this weekend as fifth-round FA Cup matches will be played instead. We know the likes of Man City and Man United are out of the running, but Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal and Spurs are still in it. So at Stamford Bridge, the Blues tackled Birmingham. Birmingham are now managed by former Newcastle manager Chris Hutton. Well, it might just be the cup, but surely this has to be a kind of a perfect way for the Blues to bounce back, right?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's FA Cup, so FA Cup is pretty high up on our list as well. So I don't see us winning big. 1-0, 2-0, given the form that we're currently in, which is quite bad, honestly. 1-0, I'm happy.
But they've got to win, right? They have got to beat Birmingham at Stamford Bridge. I mean, Zack, what would your assessment of Chelsea be? And then, I mean, any upset on the cards in this one?
Well, I mean, on paper, of course, it looks as if Chelsea's got the edge. But, you know, a lot of this will depend on how they end up with the Champions League, right? By the time that match arrives, we would have known whether it's been disaster in the Champions League or whether they go into this game full of confidence.
I think we
Champions League
play the match first.
I'm sorry. Well, in that case, then, you know,
we'll be keeping an eye on the Champions League as well.
Yeah. They've got everything to play for. And, you know, with one eye on the Champions League, perhaps AVB will probably be resting a lot of his key players.
But it'd be nice to see some of the young players step up and play as well. Because
that's true.
We've been banking on
senior
foreign talent.
And they can't do any worse. The guys
what's the worst can go, right?
So hopefully Torres will get a goal
like
at
that
last.
Bertram.
Bertram's a good player.
Right. Okay, well, so we'll see what happens in that one. Meanwhile, Everton face Blackpool, who themselves just in the Premier League last season. I mean, Zack, so should the Toffees expect a tough test?
Should. And, you know, Everton have an annoying habit of getting knocked out of this particular tournament by the so-called lesser clubs. I remember Reading knocked us out a couple of years ago, so nothing's easy. And, you know, Blackpool, as we all know from last year, attacking team can play a bit. Ian Holloway's a canny manager. I just have to cast my mind back to the similar fixture last year when they were in the Prem. 5-3, mate, at final score. 4 goals by Saha. But it was a goal feast.
Game.
Yeah, I expect the same.
Right. Well, at the Stadium of Light, Arsenal square off against Sunderland for the second time in a week. Martin O'Neill has injected, some confidence, some self-belief into this Sunderland side, right? So can the Gunners expect a tough test once more?
Why not? I mean, last week in the Prem, Sunderland took the lead before Henry got it late. So I could see an upset. I mean, Sunderland could come out with a 2-1 win for all you know.
And Arsenal are playing the Champions League before this game as well, right?
They could be tied out.
Right. Okay, well, another matchup sees high-flying Spurs travel to Broadhall Way to play Stevenage. Zack, with the way Harry's team is playing at the moment, as we were speaking about earlier on, I mean, it's hard not to see them winning this one, right?
Yeah. You mentioned it, strength and depth. You can see Harry chopping and changing for this one.
Right.
Tinkering with the team. And the great thing about Spurs at the moment is they have that squad to tinker with. So.
Right.
But then again, in this game, I'm supporting Stevenage all the way, man. Come on.
Spurs have a tendency to get
knocked out by...
This is what the FA Cup's all about. I don't want to do the old cliche, the romance of the cup, but really, you'd want to see a team like Stevenage. You want to see them beat Spurs, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay, well, lastly, at Anfield, Liverpool play host to Brighton, hoping to put their last 2 disappointing league results behind them.
Come on, Brighton.
Surely this has to be a straightforward Liverpool win on paper, right? I mean, or is it really that straightforward considering it's at Anfield? I mean, where we know Liverpool have had all sorts of problems this season.
Straightforward game.
Where disaster strikes.
It should be a straightforward game. But you never know. They might play Carroll again and then they won't find a net.
Right. I mean, Zack, do you agree with Kung on this one?
Yeah, Anfield hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Liverpool this year. I think 12 draws. So I'm really hoping Brighton, who have some FA Cup pedigree, actually, I remember back in the 82, 81, them having that epic cup final with Man U. So I'm hoping they recapture some of the FA magic and not
pile the misery in Liverpool, eh?
That'd be lovely.
Daryl won't be too happy with you.
Yeah, sorry, Daryl.
Right, thanks a lot for your thoughts, guys. Before we bid you goodbye, do check out our brand new contest on football.thestar.com.my, where loads of monthly prizes from Tiger FC, Adidas and Senkyu are up for grabs on top of FA Cup final tickets courtesy of Astro and Emirates. So guys, pleasure it's been. If you want to drop us a line, send it to us at football@thestar.com.my and we'd be more than happy to read your emails. So till we see you next week, same time, same place, enjoy your football, and it's ciao from us on Football Every Day.